When it comes to the strategies then to deploy for how to rise to become a global leader, let me simply articulate 4 strategies that we've seen work again and again and again. Now, some of these strategies don't work for American and European countries because they're the strategies of the upstarts. For example, rising from the bottom. This is the playbook we first saw in the United States with Toyota. Start with low price, gain quality, then add innovation to broaden out your market reach. Toyota's done it, right? They target the utility buyer that just wants to buy the basics at good price to build a base of business. Then they innovate to broaden their market reach. Toyota's done it. Hyundai's doing it. Sany Construction Equipment in China. Low price player in China just bought Putzmeister in Germany, the #1 concrete pump manufacturer. Startled the industry because they bought a premium company and it indicated where they think they're heading. Ranbaxy in India in the generic drug industry is slowly rising and starting to invest in what? Proprietary drug innovation. So we're seeing them with that same playbook of first price, then quality, finally innovation. Now the counter to that historically for Western firms has been global standards of innovation. What we do as a firm is we've set the bar for the best. We are the best products. We know there is some demand for the best products everywhere in the world. And we go to those parts of the world, and the bet we're placing is that the market will come to us. That the standards of demand will rise fast enough that people in all those other rising economies will perceive the value we truly represent, and they'll move in our direction. This is Caterpillar's strategy, BMW's strategy, Starbucks as it moves around the world. Starbucks is saying, look, we understand the value of a great cup of coffee. The market will come to us. LVMH, you know, in the ultra-luxury market, that if you're very, very wealthy, someday you're going to want Louis Vuitton luggage. The market will come to us at our price point, at our quality. It's a big bet. The third strategy that seems to work in gaining market leadership is local advantage exploited globally. So Wipro in Bangalore, India. We have an advantage in the quality of computer programming staff, the price of those staff. We exploit it by selling it all over the world. Foxconn. We have an advantage in the cost of electronics manufacturing based on our facilities in China, Taiwan, and we exploit that all over the world by bringing demand here. Patek Philippe, the watch company, we have a local advantage in precision manufacturing of very expensive high-end watches. We exploit it all over the world. McKinsey, we invested 25, 30 years ago in building local offices in countries everywhere in the world. We have a depth of insight about markets, large and small, far and near. And we're now exploiting that because as companies need to learn more about the market in Timbuktu, we have people who actually understand that. We can exploit that on a global basis. So local advantage exploited globally. What's the challenge with this strategy? Well, it's a big bet that that local advantage is sustainable, that it can't be replicated, or that the costs don't get out of control, or that some other factor comes into being such that what we thought was a unique situation, in fact, becomes commonplace. The fourth strategy for market leadership that seems to have worked is global expertise localized. So take a company like A.O. Smith, one of the leaders in the water heater industry in North America. They make a lot of water heaters. What they do is they go into another market, they value engineer the product for the local main parameters of value that those customers care about. In this case, going into China, water heaters are much smaller, they're on demand, they're typically hung on the outside of a wall just outside the kitchen. And they're a much different and less expensive device. A.O. Smith completely redesigns the product to meet the local need. They emerge as one of the leaders in the water heater business in China. What you're trying to do is leverage your core strengths and know-how and capabilities, while at the same time bringing the uniqueness of the market to bear. The challenge with firms like this, or another one is KFC, the restaurant chain, a part of Yum Brands. KFC is the largest restaurant chain in China today. Now, in the United States, we know them as a quick-serve restaurant. In China, they're a casual dining restaurant. It's a sit-down meal. It's completely differently positioned for the local needs of that marketplace, yet they're bringing their know-how on branding, on restaurant design, on restaurant management, bring all that to bear to create an advantage in China. The risk to these companies is that as the markets around the world come to common standards of demand for value, a lot of the investments that they've made in those localized products may need to be completely reinvested in to meet new and changing global standards, but they've at least gotten in early enough before that commonality of demand exists, such that they're in a very good position to follow that trend and to eventually have their businesses join up and have common standards as to what it is they sell within marketplaces. The common error around, by the way, around a strategy for market leadership is failing to renovate your offer to meet the new frontiers of customer value in price and service and product features that's going to exist